20 years ago, Alex Exclamado, Rodel Rodis. Where is Rodel? Rodel, are you here? There he is. Michael Dadap and I were together in the TLC Beatriz, looking over Central Park, and Alex Exclamado said, "We are the second largest Asian Americans in the United States, but there's no voice for Filipino Americans in Washington, D.C. And that's when Rodel said, "Why don't we form a national organization, not by members, but by associations?" And he came up with National Federation of Filipino American Associations. A big hand, please, for Alex and Rodel.
Yeah!
And so, for all of you VIP, my heart goes out to you because you support NaFFAA 20 years later, and it is strong, alive and strong, in the presence of the first millennial.
Yeah!
You're here. Brenda. He's millennial. So, for us Filipino Americans and honorary Filipinos, like the gentleman, those married to you are honorary Filipinos. Let us remember our heritage. As in the Bible, we are a noble nation, a noble nation, a brave race, a royal priesthood, God's own people. So this November 7th, wherever you are, especially from Virginia, who's from Virginia? This is a very important election. Please, make America America again. Equality for everyone. Justice for everyone. And truth for everyone. Okay? Mabuhay ang Filipino American.
Mabuhay!
Mabuhay ang NaFFAA. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Marie Cunning. I'm president of the Federation of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce, and I'm a board of director for NaFFAA. I'm here to attend the NaFFAA 20th year anniversary, and I welcome you all to Washington, D.C. tonight. Thank you.
Why are you having a cane? Why are you having a cane?
I wish I could tell you something more interesting, but I broke it at the last Trump rally in Arizona 8 weeks ago. I got pushed by one of the protesters. So far, I've only been walking on my right foot the last 3 days.
Okay, you take care of yourself, Marie. This is Joseph Lariosa.
I will. Thanks, Joseph.
See you, and good luck to the event of the Philippine American
I'll
Chamber
see
of
you in
Commerce.
November 10 to 12 at the Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale, Arizona for the Federation of Filipino American Chambers of Commerce Binational Convention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
I did want to just recognize someone else who just entered, my co-chair for tonight's gala, Tita Bing Brannigan.
Sorry, Anna.
She'll get changed. And I'm sorry we also didn't have a mic. We're a little bit low budget for this event, but hopefully with your contributions we'll be able to afford mics for next year. But I did just want to recognize. But I did want to recognize just a few of our sponsors. Obviously, we wouldn't be here without our gold sponsor, so that's Wells Fargo. Who's here from Wells Fargo? And ABS-CBN, TFC. Also, our silver sponsors, starting with AARP. I know we have Daphne here. And we also have Comcast, and I know Minnie and Christine are there. And we also have Verizon with Chris Guerrero here. And finally, our bronze sponsors, the Philippine American Foundation. I know Irene Bueno is representing, and Western Union. And finally, could we just, I know later on we'll recognize the champions, but could we just, if you're a champion for tonight or a supporter, could you just raise your hand? Yay. Thank you. Again, thank you all. Enjoy the open bar while it's still open. And we will call you all soon for the gala in a few minutes. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
I am Brendan Flores, and I am the National Chairman of the National Federation of Filipino American Associations. I am so excited to be here today because we are celebrating the organization's 20th anniversary, celebrating 20 years of leadership engagement, civic engagement, and certainly national advocacy. And this is a momentous event because we're bringing Filipinos across the country to really have a united voice to serve our kababayans here in the United States. Thank you.
Congratulations, Brendan, Brendan Flores, the president of NaFFAA, chairman of NaFFAA, and this is Joseph General of Journal Global News. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Gus Mercado. I'm the Chair Emeritus of Region 6. That's Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Southwest region. I one of the founders, and this is a milestone for all of us who have been with NaFFAA for 20 years. And it was a pleasant surprise when we started this. We didn't know how long it was going to last, but we're still here. And the organization is now run by young leaders, which is wonderful. So we can see a bright future for this organization, and I wish the new leaders all the best. And we, the old guards, will always be there behind them.
Congratulations, Mr. Gus Mercado, and this is Joseph General of Journal Global News.
Thank you, Joseph.
Hi, I am the immediate national chair of NaFFAA.
And what's your name?
My name is J.T. Marlonga. I'm also still a member of the Board of Governors. And more important, I am the incumbent president of the Filipino American Legal Defense Fund.
Okay. And why are you here?
Well, I had a talk with NaFFAA today. I'm proposing that FALDEF, which stands for Filipino American Legal Defense Fund, and NaFFAA enter the agreement whereby FALDEF will act as lawyer for NaFFAA for DACA recipients, those that are affected, as well as for Filipinos detained by virtue of Trump's directive that local police officers be deputized as ICE officers that can arrest, detain, and deport Filipinos.
Attorney Malyonga, where can people, witnesses can get in touch with you?
Well, we, under our agreement with NaFFAA, we are asking people to contact the local NaFFAA chapters, and then they will contact the Legal Defense Fund. This is how it's going to work. The Legal Defense Fund, FALDEF, is set up as a law office. So we have a malpractice insurance. So let's say if you come from the state of Washington and we do not have lawyers there, and there are lawyers willing to handle the case pro bono, they can work under our malpractice insurance, and then they can liaise with the local NaFFAA chapter who will work with the local lawyers to agree to handle the cases.
Congratulations, Attorney Malyonga, and best wishes to your project. This is Joseph Gelares of the Journal Global News.
And thank you to all your viewers.
Here in Washington, D.C.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Ron Falcone. I am the mayor of Brunswick, Ohio. So it's a town outside of Cleveland, about 35,000 people. I'm up for re-election next month in November of 2017, but I'm lucky because I do not have an opponent. I got involved in politics because I like to help people and I want to get involved in my community. I want to help solve people's problems.
Were you born in the U.S.?
Opo. I was born and raised in the Cleveland area.
And where are your parents from in the Philippines?
My parents are both from Manila. My mom is from Santa Cruz, and ang tatay ko is Tundo.
Anong pangalan ng father and mother mo?
Edgardo and Teresita Falcone.
What is your educational attainment? Highest educational attainment?
Abogado ko po.
Oh, I see. And before running, are you in the private sector or in the government?
Well, before I became mayor, I was a city councilman for about 5-6 years, and I still maintain my law practice in northeastern Ohio.
Okay, congratulations, and hopefully, is this your first time to run for mayor?
No po, I'm running for re-election.
Re-election.
Re-election, so I'm lucky I do not have an opponent. And so I'll be finishing up my first term, and I'll start my second term on January 1st.
How many voters do you have in your area?
I'm not sure the number of voters, between 10 to 15,000 voters, but we have about 35,000 people in the city of Brunswick.
Okay, and
My name is Ron Falcone. I am the mayor of Brunswick, Ohio. It's a town outside of Cleveland, about 35,000 people. I'm up for re-election next month in November of 2017, but I'm lucky because I do not have an opponent. I got involved in politics because I like to help people and I want to get involved in my community. I want to help solve people's problems.
were you born in the U.S.?
I was born and raised in the Cleveland area.
And where are your parents from in the Philippines?
My parents are both from Manila. My mom is from Santa Cruz, and ang tatay ko is Tondo.
Anong pangalan ng father and mother mo?
Edgardo and Teresita Falcone.
What is your educational attainment? Highest educational attainment?
Abogado ko po.
Oh, I see. And before running, what was your are you in the private sector or in the government?
Well, before I became mayor, I was a city councilman for about 5-6 years, and I still maintain my law practice in northeastern Ohio.
Okay, congratulations, and hopefully, is this your first time to run for mayor?
No po, I'm running for re-election.
Re-election.
Re-election, so I'm lucky I do not have an opponent, and so I'll be finishing up my first term, and I'll start my second term on January 1st.
How many voters do you have in your area?
I'm not sure the number of voters, between 10 to 15,000 voters, but we have about 35,000 people in the city of Brunswick.
Okay, and best wishes to your campaign. And this is Joseph Genarios of the Journal Global Links.
Thank you, Paul.
During our travels, we noticed a number of recurring recommendations from community members that NaFFAA should take a leadership role in uniting our diverse community, made up of hundreds, if not thousands, of distinct Filipino-American organizations. That NaFFAA should engage young Filipino-Americans to empower the next generation of leaders. And of course, that NaFFAA should help build our community's political empowerment through civic engagement and advocacy.
Charismatic, progressive, influential. Brendan Flores. This young man has been capturing the attention of a national community in search of new leadership and a fresh and bold direction.
We stand on the shoulders of giants, some of whom have gone before us, and some of whom are here with us. From our late Tito Alex Esclamado and Tito Navarra, to my other predecessors, former national chairs, Tito Lloyd Lewis and JT Malonga, could you both please stand up and be recognized? Thank you, Lloyd, and thank you. And I tell you, many of these leaders have contributed to my own development as a leader and really paved the way for me to be standing before you as NaFFA Assembly's ever national chairman.
Brendan Flores, most specifically, thank you for switching the mics to next time. Well said, well said, well said. Okay, well, as Brendan alluded to, his speech this year is very, very special for NaFFA. Because we are celebrating 20 years of leadership, civic engagement, and advocacy, we wanted to thank, recognize, and reward key Filipino-American leaders, organizations, and corporate partners through our signature awards. These are leaders who have engaged and empowered diverse individuals and communities around NaFFA's primary objectives and programs. But ladies and gentlemen, don't take my word for it. Let's see their work in action.
Open ranks. Top local business executive. Distinguished Asian business leader. A Filipina. Born and raised in Sorsogon City, Philippines. She is a consistent achiever in school and was involved in the Student Council and the National Union of Students. She was the first Asian American to pass the American bar in 1974 without having been educated in the United States. Fast forward to the present. She is an attorney by profession and is the chairperson of the TLC Group Incorporated. And acclaimed as the most financially successful woman in the Philippines, having come into prominence as the former chair and CEO of Beatrice International, one of the largest food companies in the world. A humanitarian and philanthropist, she also chairs the Reginald F. Lewis Foundation and U.S. Pinoys for Good Governance. She's also the founder and president of the Lewis College in the Philippines, as well as major sponsor of the People's Alternative Livelihood Foundation of Sorsogon Incorporated, a church-based microfinance company. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Loida Nicholas Lewis.
To the members of the NaFFAA, Brenda and Jason, maraming salamat. But I offer reading this award to the visionary Alex Escamaro and to the activist Rodel Ruiz, who is co-founder of NaFFAA. And also to those who have been here in 1987, 20 years ago, after Alex Escamaro went to 20 cities to tell them, panahon na, it's time for Filipinos to have a national organization. Can I just tell those people who were here in 1997, please stand and acknowledge the presence of the political empowerment is still something out of our reach. And before that, I want to acknowledge the first executive director during my presidency, Doy Heredia. Doy. There it is. There's one of Doy. And of course, the second one is our very energetic, dynamic Jason Tenko. And I just want to say, political empowerment is not within our reach, but we have one mayor of the city of Brunswick in Ohio, Mayor Ron Falcone, who is running without any opposition this November 2017. Ron Falcone, where are you? In 2018. America, running for Congress in 2018. I am deeply adored to God, and to Him be all the glory. In life, in my life, in your life, some rains will fall. But before the rainbow, there must be the rain. And so, I want to share with you what has strengthened me through all of these years. It's Proverbs, the good book, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Not half the heart or quarter of your heart, but trust in the Lord with all your heart. In the next line, do not depend on your own understanding. You know, when we were young, and some of you are still young, we think we know everything, and how wrong we could be, and how wrong I was. So the next line, do not depend on your own understanding. Then, whom should we ask for advice? The next line is, seek God's will in all ways. And why is that? Because we are Filipinos, Filipino Americans, are God-fearing. Whether we are Muslims, whether we are Christians, whether we are evangelical or Catholic, we We know that God loves us and wants the best for us. Emmanuel means God is with us. And so, we should seek His will in all we do. And so what happens? That He will show you which path to take. In my life, certainly, He has shown me where to go, what to do. And when I sit here, it's really because I was guided by God. And that is certainly my life story. So, okay, this Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Thank you very much.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the Nicholas Lewis, on his leadership and development of the recipient. To introduce our next awardee, please enjoy the...
Thank you very much. Can I just have could you please stand, those who were here 20 years ago when we formed NaFFAA? Please stand. Those of you who can still stand, please, thank you. Thank you. My friends, when we met on the Sunday in August of 1997 on the final plenary session, NaFFAA delegates unanimously agreed to two principles that would guide NaFFAA. One was the empowerment of the Filipino community in the U.S., and second was to work for the economic and political progress of the Philippines. Those two goals would be equal for NaFFAA to achieve. Towards the first goal, the first thing NaFFAA did was to lobby for passage of the Filipino Veterans Equity Bill. So all our chapters all over the country organized and got their congresspersons, their senators to push to sponsor this bill. And the result of all that effort was in February of 2009, President Barack Obama signed into law a bill that gave more than $300 million to our veterans to compensate them for their sacrifices during World War II. We also worked for the election of Filipinos to various political positions throughout the U.S. I was the first Filipino elected to public office in San Francisco, serving as president of the San Francisco Community College Board. And now all over California, we have Filipinos as mayors, members of college board, school board, city council. In the Bay Area, we have 8 Filipino-American mayors. And we have a member of the California Assembly who's a Filipino, Rob Bonta. That is a direct result of NaFFAA flexing our muscles and working to empower our community. And we will continue to do that to get Gina Cortez Jones in Texas to be elected to the U.S. Congress. Please stand and support Gina. And we also work for the Philippines because we wanted to make sure that the best practices that we overseas Filipinos had politically, we could impart to the Philippines. So we work to get Filipinos to have the right to vote in Philippine elections. We work for the passage of the overseas voting law and the dual citizenship law. In 2003, so many of us, including Loida, Alex, Greg, Eric, we went to the Philippines and we lobbied the members of the Philippine Congress to pass both. And in August of 2003, they passed and signed into law the Filipino Overseas Voting Act and the Dual Citizenship Law. That was the product of NaFFAA's lobbying. That is an achievement of NaFFAA.
Yeah.
But after that law was passed, the Comelec refused to allow dual citizens the right to vote in the Philippine election. So Loida, together with Alex and Greg and Eric, filed a certiorari in the Philippine Supreme Court to reverse the Comelec decision and allow overseas dual
Thank you, Loida. NaFFA also started the Global Filipino Networking Convention. In 2002, we had over 2,000, 4,000 delegates meeting at the Moscone Center in San Francisco from all over the Philippines, organizing a networking of Filipino communities throughout. And we created that so every 2 years, in Cebu, in Manila, in Honolulu, in Sydney, all over we were having networking. My friends, 2 years ago, I attended a conference in Malta of the European Network of Filipinos in the Diaspora, NFFAA, representing 31 countries in Europe. NFFAA followed NaFFA. They were asking me, how did NaFFA organize our national council? How did we organize our election? How do we set up? Because they were following the example that NaFFA. My friends, NaFFA is casting a shadow not only in the United States, but in Europe and all over the world. We have much to be grateful for. We have achieved so much in 20 years. And I would like to thank Jason and Brendan and all the young Filipino Americans who are active enough for continuing what we started 20 years ago. We have taken you here, but you will take us there. So mabuhay kayo lahat. Thank you.
No, we have to write it down. You have to write it down. But excellent, excellent.
I'm glad you did.
History in a nutshell.
Videography, video editing, and reporting. This is Joseph Gelariosa of the journal Global Links in Washington, D.C.